Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third annual New Year's Eve Bull Stomp right here in Rock Springs, Wyoming. I'm rodeo sportscaster Mike Brems, joined by Jerry Hurst, and as usual, Jerry, we have below 0 degree temperatures outside, and you know, it just wouldn't be the same without the wind right here in Rock Springs, Wyoming.
It's cold up here in January.
Well, it's definitely blown in some of the very best of the cowboys here for our event tonight. What about our livestock?
Absolutely, we're going to heat things up. We've got 4 top stock contractors here. We've got EMJ Productions, we've got Eddie Lang, we've got Mike Ruby, and the Jackson Hole Rodeo Bull.
Well, we're going to see a great bull riding that's going to go on right here at the Sweetwater Event Complex. Again, Jerry, we talk about the prizes. EMJ Productions has once again put together a great event. Thousands of dollars of prize money is on the line, as well as the accolades of being a champion. And then what about that beautiful Frontier buckle?
Oh yeah, that's a nice buckle. I've been up here to this event several times, and we always have a good time on New Year's Eve here in Rock Springs.
Well, it's going to be a New Year's Eve bull riding bash that's going to go on again. Our namesake of our event, former world champion, Mr. Lane Frost, has brought some of the very best cowboys here. And again, you know, they all ride in his memory, but they all ride with an opportunity to be just like Lane was and someday be a world champion.
Exactly. Lane was one of the greatest bull riders there ever was.
Tragically lost in a bull riding accident, but ladies and gentlemen, we carry on his heritage as EMJ Productions brings to you once again the Lane Frost Challenge Bull Riding Tour right here in Rock Springs, Wyoming. Bull riding's just a few seconds away. Don't go far. We'll be right back.
From PBR to MBR, Humps and Horns Bull Riding Magazine covers it all, with in-depth stories on up-and-coming riders to highlighting events from around the world. If it happens in the world of bull riding, Humps and Horns covers it. Order today and stay current with all the latest bull riding news and information. Call 866-464-6397 or www.humpsandhorns.com for more information.
Good evening and welcome to Rock Springs, Wyoming, as we take you to Lane Frost Challenge Tour. Bull riding right here, going to go on in Rock Springs. We have a great event scheduled for tonight. EMJ Productions put together another great Lane Frost Challenge event as we take you to the buck and shoots. Joe Bowden, Roosevelt, Utah, going to be the cowboy to start us off. Jerry, we've seen this bull before. He's a good one.
Good Flight Risk, the name of this bull.
See if the cowboy can stay there for the 8-second effort. The cowboy got a good start to this one. Uh-oh, he gets a little bit of trouble here as the rodeo, the bull riding goes on. The cowboy just backing off there, and the bullfighter's trying to find a good spot to get him out of there. Joe Bowden had a good start on that ride, though,
yes,
Jerry.
Yes, he did. I thought he had him handled.
Skids right there, sets down in the middle of this one, but those feet pop out. Traditional things happen, and the cowboy goes to the ground.
Hung up momentarily. Good job by the bullfighters. We've got Bo Shaw, Zach Edmonston, and Brandon Lincoln as our bullfighters tonight. Already starting their work.
So as the Cowboys continue their efforts to try and conquer some of these good bucking bulls, Eddie Lang bucking bulls in this section, and we're going to see a bunch of them, as well as EMJ Production bulls. Watch here is Charles Delyea going to ride another good bucking bull.
Shaggy's the name of this bull.
All right, here's a cowboy who's been a high school national finals qualifier right here. He's going to see if he can get himself a qualified effort. Got a bull that makes a hop and a skip across the arena this afternoon, and Charles just looks for a place to jump off right there and finds a good spot. Jerry, what do you think?
Not much of a test for Charles. That bull didn't buck like we'd like him to. He'll probably get an option for a re-ride. Let's see what happens here.
So we like a bull that's coming out of the gate and will turn back at the latch. Give the cowboy an opportunity to try and put some points on the board. You see the score come up 62 with an option for a re-ride. I'm not sure whether he'll take that option or he won't, but those who are in the top 10 at the end of the event qualify to come back in our short round. So that's always an option for our Cowboys, Jerry.
It is. We just got word that Charles will not take the re-ride. He'll take the 62 and keep that on the board.
So he's going to gamble that that's going to get him back to the short round. Jason Dawes, Mardi Gras, another good bucking bull. And here's a cowboy that's going to see if he can make a qualified ride. Hopping and skipping across the front of that bucking chutes and around the arena there. A little round pen we've got here set up. Looks like the cowboy's going to get himself a score.
Yes, he will. Another Eddie Lang bull. Mardi Gras is the name of that bull. Again, didn't really provide much of a test for that cowboy. He did get a 66 score, but he's got an option for a re-ride.
And looks like the cowboy going to decline his opportunity to come back and do that again. He'll keep the score and hope that it's enough to get him back to our short round today. Moving right along, I've got another good cowboy that's loaded up, and we're going to see if we can't get him down on the arena floor, put on a show for you here. Lots of great cowboys and cowgirls here, great spectators here in Rock Springs, Wyoming. Got a good crowd for tonight's event. Josh Boone, he's got himself a good bull.
Josh has got a bull named Gothic.
So, big black bull, going to see if he can get a qualified ride out of this one. Turns back hard to the left, and the cowboy going to work on him. But again, that head pops back, Jerry, and that's always bad news when you can't see where the bull's going.
That's correct. When that chin comes up, the body goes back, and you're going to go out the back door.
Cowboy does all that he can to try and stay there for the effort, but right here you watch as that cowboy gets rocked back off that hand and the head goes up. He's unable to pay attention to where that bull's going to end up at the end of that jump, and so it doesn't take long to get him off and onto the ground. No score for Josh Boone.
Notice when you get leaned back like that, your feet come out to the front and you lose them.
Not a good thing entering the bull ride, and you want to keep them toes out and your chin down, and some good posture, always a great thing. Fred Kinney, another one of the good cowboys that we see here on the Lane Frost Challenge Tour. Watch as this cowboy settles in on a good bull.
Hotwired is the name of this LB4 bull.
Cowboy makes his home in Vernon, Utah, travels the PBR Tour as well. This cowboy is a rancher. Watch here as he gets settled into this one, and again, another one of them bulls is just going to kind of hop and jump across the arena this afternoon. Going to give him an opportunity for a score.
Kind of a hop and skipping bull, kind of changed directions a little bit.
Right there, almost acting like he was going to turn in, and he doesn't quite do so. 71 points. What do you think?
Well, that's better than the last two. There was no option for a re-ride there, and probably when you get into the 70s, you're not going to get that option.
Going to give him 71 points, and they won't give him the option for a re-ride. We'll see if it's going to be enough to get him back to our short round where the very best of the Cowboys and the top bucket stock going to reign. Let's go right along. Caden Schubert going to be the next cowboy. There's a cowboy makes his home in Rock Springs, Wyoming. That's the home of tonight's event.
Caden's riding slick.
This looks like a good bull right here. Oh! Finally get an athletic little bucking bull that's going to get the cowboy down too early tonight. Caden making a quick run out of there, says that he's going to find some solace and some safety up on that fence.
He's still running.
Right here you get to see it once again.
Again, he got tipped back and then tried to make that recovery. He couldn't get it done.
Caden just gets outdone there by that bull. Back to the bucket chutes. We're going to move along here as our pickup men. They have to try and work those bulls back to the catch pen. Every time they come in, it's through those entry gates of the bucket chutes. The out gates, it's always different at every single arena that we show up to. So sometimes it takes them a minute to figure out where they're headed. Jeff Gideon going to be the cowboy who slides in on the bull rope. Going to see if he can make a qualified ride. Cody, Wyoming cowboy.
He's on the regulator.
This is going to regulate the Cowboys' score this afternoon. Not going to let it get too high. As a matter of fact, it's going to keep him right at 0 today.
He lost his feet out there and couldn't recover. Got bowed down a little bit, and the feet come out. And he just didn't get those feet set at all.
Not good news for your Cowboy as he tries to get that quest to get to the top 10. Qualify for our short round. He goes out empty-handed this afternoon as well. We're going to move right along. Kody Pierce. He's another one of the good talents here on the Lane Frost Challenge. And as we watch this cowboy out of Laramie, Wyoming, these cowboys been qualifier of the National Indian Bull Riding Association Finals. Watch here as the cowboy gets a hold of this one.
Good start to the ride. Did he finish?
Don't think so. Looks like it's going to be a early exit. So watch here as this cowboy gets a hold of one, but is only for about 6 seconds, Jerry. Not going to be quite enough.
He tried to hang on. He got bowed down and got off to the side and tried to hang on, but couldn't quite get the 8.
Yeah, the side saddle thing doesn't work very well in the bull riding. Those bulls get you off to the side, and they know where you're headed.
And if you do make the 8 and you're out of shape like that, your score's not going to be very good anyway.
Pavilion, Wyoming cowboy next up. He's got himself a good bull.
Pepper Popper from the EMJ string.
This is Corey Albright. Watch here as your cowboy. Uh-oh. That was a quick end to a good ride.
Good little bull. Really athletic. Ellen Munson brought this bull, and he is a good one.
EMJ bucking bulls, as well as Eddie Lang, L-Bar 4 bucking bulls in this section. So the good Cowboys trying to test the good bucking bulls, see if they can just put some numbers on the board. They want to be among those top 10 again that qualify for our short round. Again, our event tonight sponsored by EMJ Productions. Watch here as a Cowboy Cory Price going to ride for some of the prize money. Cinnamon Stick, a good bucking bull. The Cowboy that's got a good start to one right here. Let's see if we can help him. Oh, gets down off the side. Jerry, what are the judges going to say about that?
It's going to be interesting. Did he slap him before he went down? And if so, he would have disqualified himself. It looks like they're giving him a rewrite option.
Going to give him a rewrite option. Has to have fair competition.
Did he touch him before that bull went down? Right there. That was close.
I would say yes, but again, I'm not the judge.
Yeah, we're going to give him a 68.
Just the voice.
With an option, and he's going to take that rewrite.
So we'll get to see him back. Cory Price will get another opportunity. Preston, Heisa.
White Russian, the name of this EMJ bull.
You like the White Russian, don't you?
Yes, I do.
All right, we're going to give this Cowboy an opportunity to try and stay on for a qualified ride. Title ride is what he's looking for right here. The Cowboy gets a start to this one in an early dismount. Not going to work tonight.
Out of there right about the third jump, and it was history.
Well, Preston gets off way too early to get anywhere in the bull riding event this evening. Again, we have the very best of the Cowboys come back for that bull riding short round. Few Cowboys get an opportunity to draw back if they don't have high scores, but Fred Kinney going to be the Cowboy with a high marked ride of 71 points at this point. Cory Price is right behind him, Jerry. And we're just going to keep moving from there to see what kind of numbers we can put up on that board. We're going to just see if we can move into our next section. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Eldon Munson, president of EMJ Productions. We're excited to share our event and hope you're enjoying the show. We feel it is a privilege to carry on the legacy of Lane Frost through our pro-level bull riding events and are proud to support a college fund in his name. We would encourage you to make the Lane Frost Tour part of a fair or celebration in your hometown. For detailed information, call 435-454-3549. Thank you for watching and enjoy the show.
From PBR to MBR, Humps and Horns Bull Riding Magazine covers it all, with in-depth stories on up-and-coming riders to highlighting events from around the world. If it happens in the world of bull riding, Humps and Horns covers it. Order today and stay current with all the latest bull riding news and information. Call 866-464-6397 or www.humpsandhorns.com for more information.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Rock Springs, Wyoming and the Lane Frost Challenge Tour. Going to move you right into section number 2. 3 qualified rides, making 4 qualified rides out of section number 1, and a handful of good Cowboys set to go. Cory Morgan, Cheyenne, Wyoming, going to be the first of the talents, Jerry, to try and get us qualified rides here.
Rock Salt's the name of this good EMJ bull.
Got a good start to this one. If he can hold on, getting awful close to that finish line on that one. I think he's going to be a little shy of the 8-second buzzer.
Cory made one good recovery, but he couldn't make 2. Now he's down and hurt, it looks like.
I think that bull stepped on him as he come off. He might be a little worse for the wear here for a few minutes.
Well, we wish him the best.
We'll watch right here as he gets down to the ground. You know, those bulls weigh about 1,800, 2,000 pounds, and when they step on you, ouch, that hurts.
Yes, it does.
Even though they wear those protective vests, it protects their vital organs. No saying you're not going to break something, Jerry.
Absolutely.
So a Cowboy who's a former Wyoming Rodeo Association champion, he's going to pick him up and see if we can get him ushered out of here. But again, the medical personnel going to tend to your Cowboy, make sure that he's going to be all right. But Cory Morgan, just like Cowboys traditionally do, they pick him up and let him make that walk out of there. He'll go home a little worse for the wear, but he'll go home nonetheless on his own power. So kudos to Cory Morgan for his effort and his try today. So as the action continues, we get a good shot there of your crowd here at the arena in Rock Springs, Wyoming. Lane Frost Challenge Tour gets an opportunity to give Cowboys upcoming talents opportunities in the sport of bull riding. Again, Lane Frost, former world champion. Well, he earned his stripes in the sport of rodeo. That's exactly what these Cowboys are going to do. Let's take you down here, and your next Cowboy is Travis McConkey. Wow, he was getting hung up, but he just hit the injection button, Jerry.
Finally opened that hand and got out of there.
Well, I'll tell you what.
He's hurt.
That bull just shot him out of there. We're going to get another opportunity to see that, but a Vernal, Utah kid, he takes a punch from that bull right there.
That's another good EMJ bull. Really a stout bull. Got his feet behind him. Now he's going to lean forward. See, when you get your feet behind you, your body goes forward.
So as they take good care of him, he's down there, and I don't know if he's pounding the wall there because he's hurt or if he's, he says.
Probably just mad because he didn't make the ride.
Yeah, he's not going to get a score out of that deal either. So Travis McConkey, another one of the Cowboys that goes home empty-handed this afternoon. Not a good way for this Cowboy to end his day. Moving right along, we're going to take you to the next of our big talents, Justin Denny, another Cowboy from Wyoming, Casper, Wyoming, where the Cowboy calls home. Right here to Rock Springs to see if he can ride a good bull.
This is a Lang bull named Domestic Violence.
Oh, this one's a good one too. Watch here, the Cowboy,
another hang-up.
Getting hung up, and boy, the Cowboys are having a tough time tonight. They're taking a licking tonight.
That's one way to get your hand out of the rope, is to have the bull step on you and jerk that hand out of that rope.
Wow, look at that vest and how that's tore that protective cover right out of that vest tonight. You're going to get to see what all went on right there. Vest intact. Watches that bull's feet just keep coming up that kid's back. Right there. Tears that vest right off him. That would have been bad if he hadn't had that on.
I've never seen one of those Kevlar vests get torn like that. That bull really must have sharp feet.
I'll tell you what, that was a bad deal, but he's going to be all right because of the vest. Willy Clegg, here's another one of our good Cowboys. We're going to see if we can help this Cowboy out of Jensen, Utah, get a qualified ride.
Skinhead, the name of this bull.
Hey, he's got a good start to this one. Let's see if we can help him get this one finished. A little out of shape several times during the ride. Not going to be enough to even get the 8-second buzzer. But it was a great effort by your Cowboy.
Slapped him before he bucked off. That bull changed directions. He's kind of belly rolling back through there, kicking this way, kicking that way, and he just couldn't keep it together.
Well, Willie was doing everything he could to try and make that ride work out for him. Just not going to happen today. Unfortunate for Willy Clegg. So as he makes that run back to the arena gate there, he's going to pick up his rope, and disheartened a little bit, he's going to make that walk back. I don't think this kid's going to punch the fence, though.
Hopefully not.
He'd do a little better. He'll be back for another opportunity another day. Cory Price, rewrite option we seen just a little earlier. Here's a good bull.
This is the kid that scored the 68. He's on Deja Vu.
We'll see if this Eddie Lang bull going to be a good matchup for this Cowboy. See if he can do it again. Throws his caution to the wind. And you see the Cowboys there clearing the fence. As he goes by, right there, Cory Price says, I think I'll just take an out right here.
I don't know if he felt like he got disqualified or he just got into that fence and had enough. I don't know.
You know, if the bull's not going to buck him off, he's just going to drag him off. I think maybe he's thinking there. So he decides to just get off and take less chance of getting an injury from getting drug on that fence. So Cory Price, another one of the Cowboys, leaves with no score.
Takes the 68 off the board for a 0, so he will not qualify for the top 10.
That is not the way we want to see it happen. Here's your next Cowboy, Rancher Dylan Kuhala out of Burns, Colorado.
On Metallica.
This one ought to be a good ball. Oh, wow, we're playing some good music right there as that bull makes the corner. Cowboy just trying to keep up. That was a great bucking bull right there.
That was a good Eddie Lang bull.
Turns the corner and watch. He just keeps getting that momentum harder and harder as he gets him around there. You notice that bull just kind of hesitate and wait for that Cowboy to set himself up so he can throw him right out the back door.
That's right. These bulls are smart. They learn that. And that centrifugal force that Cowboy witnessed, gets to you in a hurry.
Going to take you back to the bucket chutes. Zachary Osborne, Lander, Wyoming Cowboy, Indian National Finals Rodeo Qualifier.
Vanilla Ice.
This is a good bull. We've seen Vanilla Ice have great trips. We've seen Vanilla Ice have some okay trips, but usually they're pretty darn impressive. The Cowboy stays on for a ride. He's going to get himself a few points put in his pouch.
I believe that was a buck off. It looked to me like he just opened his hand and gave it up. Let's see the reride.
rolling right around here. We're going to see what happens with Zachary Osborne and Vanilla Ice. Again, another one of them EMJ Bucking Bulls. EMJ Productions putting on the Lane Frost Challenge right here in Rock Springs, Wyoming. Let's see what happens. We're going to move right along. Going to go to Jory Markiss.
Montana Markiss.
Jory Markiss, and Little John EMJ Bucking Bull. He's got to start on this one. Here's a kid that can ride bulls, and he just regroups, almost gets himself back into the middle of that one, Jerry, where he could make a ride and finish it up.
Montana had a great effort there. I'm sorry to see him get bucked off, because he did put forth the effort. No lack of effort on his part. He was doing everything he could to make that qualified ride and just didn't get it done.
Pulling hard on that rope and trying to keep himself up in a position where he could get that ride finished. Boy, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to
shorts there by
wouldn't want to have that bull, Little John, coming back after me. Got a little bit of horning on his business there he was doing. Chance Rich, another one of the Cowboys here to see if he can claim some of the prize money, take home that beautiful Frontier belt buckle given up by EMJ Productions for being the champion of the Lane Frost Challenge. Delta, Utah.
The name of the bull, good little bull.
Nice little bull and tough little ride right there for the Cowboy. Hope to have a title ride. Unfortunately for this kid, going to go home without anything in his pocket today.
Chance got behind that bull, got tipped to the outside, and away he goes.
You know, each and every one of our Cowboys pay an entry fee. They have the opportunity because of that money to try and win some prize money, and then as they advance throughout the year, get an opportunity to try and become champions. As we move through our next Cowboy coming up, he's got that on his mind. Going to see if he can put 8 seconds behind him, make a little history. This is Drew Antone.
Bad drinker. This is a Jackson Hole rodeo bull.
Oh, yeah, watch here. The Cowboy getting hung up again. The bullfighter's going to have to go in after that rope. Whoop, the Cowboy gets himself out. He's another one of those lucky kids.
Yes, he is. You can get up and run away from those kind of deals. You got to think you're lucky stars. He got tipped to the inside of, well, that's a dangerous place to be as that bull comes around. You can get stepped on, you can get horned. That can really cause some damage.
Fortunately for that Cowboy, those hind legs of that bull don't catch him. So former high school champion here in Wyoming going to leave today all intact still. Next up going to be Dusty Clegg, another one of our good Cowboys out of Utah, Neola, Utah, where he calls home.
Vegas is the name of this bull, Jackson Hole Rodeos, and that is Buskin Wilson that produces these animals.
All right, so he slides in on the bull rope right here. Dusty Clegg going to see if he can get himself a qualified ride. Has minds to someday be a world title holder in the bull riding. Right here, he's going to just have to hunker down and take care of business at hand. Not going to happen today for Dusty Clegg. Well, yep, it was getting close to that timeline.
He said thumbs up.
All right, so the judge is going to throw the numbers at him.
The judges agree.
Yeah, I thought we was going to be just a little shy of that 8-second buzzer, but the judge throws his thumbs up and says, nope, you made it. Got to have 8 seconds on that watch. Looks like Dusty Clegg going to take him a score. What do you think, Jerry?
79.5.
That's
good effort by Dusty.
Going to be a nice ride for this Cowboy because that might take him to the #1 spot. It will at this point. 79.5 for Dusty Clegg. He'll go to the top of the leaderboard. So it starts to stack up here in Rock Springs, Wyoming. The Bulls are starting to make their way to the arena floor. The Cowboys know what's at stake. There's lots of prize money. Beautiful Frontier buckle. So Dusty Clegg does just what we think. He goes right to the top of the leaderboard with 79.5. We got 5 Cowboys with qualified rides, Jerry. Headed to our short round. Ladies and gentlemen, as we bring you back in just a few moments, we'll ride some more good bucking bulls here at the Lane Frost Challenge Tour.
From PBR to MBR, Humps and Horns Bull Riding Magazine covers it all, with in-depth stories on up-and-coming riders to highlighting events from around the world. If it happens in the world of bull riding, Humps and Horns covers it. Order today and stay current with all the latest bull riding news and information. Call 866-464-6397 or www.humpsandhorns.com for more information.
Welcome back to Rock Springs, Wyoming. We're at the Lane Frost Challenge Tour. We're going to take you to round number 3. Cowboys putting the numbers on the boards, and good Cowboys all loaded up and ready to go. First Cowboy out makes his home in the state of Wyoming. Cheyenne Cowboy Justin Thomas.
Jack is the name of this bull. Elkhorn Rodeos brought this bull to town. That is Brett Oxborough's bull.
So as the Cowboy tries to get a qualified ride on this one, looks like he's going to set in there and maybe gets a score. Kid that was a qualifier of the 2009 College National Finals rodeo. He's going to get himself a score right here, and I'll tell you what, it wasn't much of a ride, but he did stay there for the 8 seconds.
Little spinning bull there, didn't have much kick at all. We're going to give him a 61.
So we put the 61 on the board, see how that stacks up come the end of the day. Cowboys want to be among the top 10. They got to have those high scores to qualify for our short round. Working our way back to the buck and shoots, we're going to take you back to the next Cowboy who makes his home in Evanston, Wyoming. This is Sheldon Adams.
8-Ball is the name of the bull. He's getting on again. This is a Brett Oxborough bull, Elkhorn Rodeo Company.
All right, an Elkhorn Bucking Bull and an Evanston Cowboy right here. Rock Springs, Wyoming is where the action is. Cowboy's got a good start on this one. Let's see if we can help him get it finished. Bull turns back, and the Cowboy hunkering down, making it work for himself. Finds him a spot to get off right there.
Nothing that bull could do could get that Cowboy out of shape. That was a good ride.
Nope, he was doing everything he had to, and then he just one-arms it, finds himself a place to hang from the trees, and yes, Cowboy might hang his hat out of the stars tonight. Making it look good right there.
Bucking, kicking bull there and changed his direction several times. Good ride by Sheldon. 77.5 to get to be the score for Sheldon Adams.
Nice ride by Sheldon. That's just what he needed this afternoon. Going to get him firmly entrenched among those Cowboys that are going to come back for our top 10 in the short round. It's going to be one of those scores that you'll have to ride hard for the rest of the afternoon to try and push him out. Colorado Cowboy going to be next to go. Let's take you down to Christian Ruddick. He's drawn himself another good bucking bull. We get there and get ready to go. But you're going to see good Cowboys and great livestock at all of the Lane Frost Challenge events. Try and bring the very best of the livestock for the Cowboys to compete on. This is a good bull.
Christian's drawn RAMBO.
So we're going to see if we can't pull out the knife right here and go to work on him. Christian Ruddick, the Cowboy, with a start. And as he gets outside of the gate, the bull turns back. Oh, now he's throwing a little trash at him, Jerry. A little trash talking going on right there with that ride.
A good start to the ride, but Christian got his feet behind him and got out of shape.
I think he's going to have enough time.
I think he made the whistle.
Yeah, I think he's going to have enough time to get a score, but I don't know how high it's going to be. Again, he wasn't very beautiful about how it's going on, but I'll tell you what, he did stay there.
It was ugly, but he got it done. 72 points for the ride. He was docked some points because he was out of shape the last 2 or 3 seconds there.
Well, we're going to take it at this point. 72 will get you an opportunity possibly back at the top 10. Again, the beautiful Frontier buckle going to go to some Cowboy and a whole bunch of prize money here of the Lane Frost Challenge Tour. Moving right along, it's going to be our next Cowboy, Steve Smith, American Fork, Utah. Here's another Cowboy who knows how to ride bulls.
This is a Mike Ruby bull.
Baby Blue the bull. He looks like he's going to be one that's going to have a lot of action this afternoon, kind of getting flat now as he goes into that spin. But your Cowboy, he's staying right there in the middle of him. Going to see how many points they're going to give up to Steve Smith this afternoon. Just looking for a spot out, the bullfighters there to try and take that bull's attention, give the Cowboy to make a spot to make an exit from our arena.
Good ride by Steve. That's a little flat spinning bull. That bull had kicked a little more. That score could have been in the 80s, but it's not going to quite get there today, I don't believe.
Well, the judge is throwing a pencil to it, and we see a score forthcoming. You're going to see it here momentarily. 78 points is going to give up to Steve Smith, 78. Yeah, it's going to get him back to that top 10 probably.
Absolutely.
We're getting a whole bunch of them stacked in there, though. We're going to move right along to our next Cowboy. 79.5 we had out in the lead prior to that point. We're going to move on to Jesse Cornett. Jesse, he's one of those Cowboys we look to do good things this afternoon out of Powell, Wyoming.
Another Jackson Hole Rodeo bull, handful of sugar.
Well, we're going to see if this is going to leave a good taste in his mouth or maybe not such a good taste. Jesse, hold on to this one. Let's see if we can get yourself a high score. Oh, looky here. Got to start to this one, Jerry. Uh-oh, it was the corner again.
Exactly. Changed direction.
Got to watch out on them hard corners right there. You get too much acceleration, throws you into the dirt.
And when he turned back that way, he just got out of shape. He got behind the bull. As he turns back to the right, kicks him out to the outside.
Yeah, that bull feels him going to the left, and he's all right and in the middle, so he figures, well, I'll go back the other way. And Jesse just couldn't stay there and be comfortable. So a cowboy who, rancher, comes down to the ground a little premature this afternoon. He'll have to go back to the farm and do a little work. Jamin Turner, the cowboy, settles in on one. See if he can get a ride.
Why me?
Cowboy's been qualifier of the College National Finals Rodeo, or the National Intercollegiate Rodeo Association, a 2009 Southwest Region champion, but does a nice job right there.
Got into the well there. That's usually from hustling too much, from being too fast. Sometimes you have to wait on those bulls to keep your chest and your shoulders squared up with the bull.
Overcompensates a little bit for the bull going into the corner, and that's what happens. Cowboy gets an early exit, gets tossed to the ground. Moving right along, going to be Cody Bourette. Here's another Rock Spring cowboy, hometown crowd, and a kid who can ride bulls. Let's do it again.
Another Elkhorn bull. Larry J is the name of this bull.
Well, Larry J, why don't you let this cowboy ride you?
He said, no thanks.
No, thank you, not this time, not this day. Good-looking bull, isn't he?
He is.
Proudly, he makes his way out of the arena having accomplished just what he had intended to do. So, Cody Bourette comes down to the ground a little too early.
Behind that bull from the get-go.
Oh, I always like the impression of the people up there on the stands, see what's going on, holding their face, covering their eyes. But the action's good. Don't you dare cover your eyes. I'm going to take you to Jose Grigo. He's another good cowboy. He's going to see if he can get one covered.
He's on head case.
Boy, that's all you need to be is a head case in the bull riding.
Exactly. I think you got to be a head case to be in the bull riding.
Well, I don't know. You got to have a good mental attitude if you're going to be a bull rider, because it takes a lot of courage, determination, and you never know when things are going to go wrong. You just got to get back on and do it again.
Well, that bull kind of a deer-colored bull, and he kind of bucked like a deer.
Just kind of hops around the arena, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Throws his head in the air and keeps his head down, just makes that turn back. He'd be a good bull.
Well, he might be a young bull just learning the game, but he's going to score 70 on the bull, and that could possibly get him back to the top 10.
Well, we're just going to have to wait and see. We're sure getting a bunch of cowboys to cover bulls, and 70 seemed to be the place to be, so we're going to see if we can't add a little bit to the mix right here. I'm going to take you to a cowboy who's been a Wilderness Circuit Finals qualifier in the PRCA. He's also been a Finals champion. This is Buskin Wilson out of Jackson, Wyoming. Here's a cowboy who can ride bulls.
And he's the one that produces the rodeos in Jackson. Diego is the name of this bull. Brett Oxborough brought this one to town.
See if this cowboy can ride him. Cowboy produces rodeos. Cowboy rides bulls. Been a bull rider for a lot of years, and Buskin Wilson going to put together a bull ride right here, changing directions once and twice either way. Well, it was kind of a hop around the arena kind of ride, but he did make it work.
Rode in both directions, and he was in control that entire time. No problem for Buskin.
So the judge is going to think about it, put the total together, and again, 100 points total were possible, 1 to 25 for the livestock as well as for the cowboy on how well he stays in control of the ride. So as they throw a number up there, Jerry.
Rides into the left, rides into the right, scores a 75.5, 75.5.
Nice job, Buskin Wilson. We'll see how that holds to the top 10. Boy, there's lots of 70s up there for the Cowboys to try and better. Going to take you back to Jake Boko. Watch here is the Hayden, Colorado cowboy. Been a former Colorado Pro Rodeo year-end champion, and lots of other accolades to go along with this cowboy's abilities in the bull riding. Mountain State Circuit Finals qualifier, and many, many more. See if he can ride a good one right here.
Baby Kane from the Mike Ruby string.
Ruby Buckenball, great cowboy right here. All right, let's do it again. Jake making it work. Got a start to this one. Goes one way, goes another way. The bull just kind of dancing around there, making it easy for him. Wasn't much of a challenge this afternoon for Jake.
Well, bull kind of gave it up at the end. He tried that spin, that didn't work. He tried another misdirection, and that didn't work, so he just kind of gave it up and bucked along the fence. And we're going to get a score. 70.5 for Jake Boko.
Don't know if it'll be enough at this point. Getting lots of 70s, so.
You think those guys that declined the re-ride with the 60s are kicking themselves in the butt by now?
Yeah, probably so, probably so. I'm going to take you to Tyrel O'Driscoll, Roosevelt, Utah cowboy. His family's in the rodeo industry, producing rodeos. Here's a cowboy that ought to have a lot of ability.
Another Ruby bull named Buck Wild.
See if this cowboy can take a ride on the wild side, maybe tame the beast right here. Oh, gets smacked down there by the head, but your cowboy, I think he touched down there, Jerry.
He knew he touched him, so he just reached down and pulled the trap and got out of there, so he didn't get any more trouble.
Probably a good thing for Tyrel O'Driscoll. Gets out of there before he gets in too much danger, so we get to watch it one more time. Right there. First jump out, gets that hand down on that bull. It was all over.
He knew it, pulls his rope and gets out of harm's way.
So you can't touch with the free hand here in the bull ride. Got to keep that free hand in the air. And this cowboy, Tyrel O'Driscoll, knows that there's no score when you've touched the bull. So he gets down and gets off. So a whole bunch of cowboys in that section of the bull riding put numbers up on the board. We're going to have to just wait and see how it shakes out. We still got to go to one more round, but Dusty Clegg's at the top of the leaderboard. He's the cowboy that's number one with 79.5. We move from that position down through those cowboys, a whole bunch in the 70s. Don't go very far because there's more bull riding coming your way as we go to the final round here, the Lane Frost Challenge in Rock Springs, Wyoming. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Eldon Munson, president of EMJ Productions. We're excited to share our event and hope you're enjoying the show. We feel it is a privilege to carry on the legacy of Lane Frost through our pro-level bull riding events and are proud to support a college fund in his name. We would encourage you to make the Lane Frost Tour part of a fair or celebration in your hometown. For detailed information, call 435-454-3549. Thank you for watching and enjoy the show.
From PBR to MBR, Humps and Horns Bull Riding Magazine covers it all, with in-depth stories on up-and-coming riders to highlighting events from around the world. If it happens in the world of bull riding, Humps and Horns covers it. Order today and stay current with all the latest bull riding news and information. Call 866-464-6397 or www.humpsandhorns.com for more information.
Bull riding fans, welcome back to Rock Springs, Wyoming Lane Frost Challenge Tour. We're down to the short round. The very best of the cowboys, the very best of the livestock. Save for the short round. This is where we crown the champion. Charles Delyea is another one of the good cowboys that's already put some numbers on the board, 62 points. And Jerry Hurst, that was a tough bull right there.
That was a quick buck off there.
I'll tell you what, Rattler of the Elkhorn Rodeo Company put the cowboy down into the ground, and it didn't take much time to do it. You watch here, one jump.
One jump and the bull's work is over.
So that's not very much time to put in at your job. Good job, bull.
That's right.
So our cowboys move right along. Brett Oxborough got to be happy about the last one. I'm going to take it to Jason Dolce. Here's another one of the cowboys who put some numbers up. 66 brings him back to the short round.
He declined his reride. Let's see if it pays off.
All right, let's see right here. Dirty Nitro. Cowboy, got a bull laying down on him. Get him out of there. Cowboy is going to be all right. That's always a scary thing if that bull goes all the way over. That's a lot to be laying on you.
1,800 pounds on your leg. Yeah, that's quite a bit of weight.
Just kind of rears right up and rolls over to the top of him. And Buskin Wilson bull.
He'll get a reride option. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We might give him an opportunity to come back and do it again. So we'll watch and see here what they're going to do with Jason Dolce. If he has any chance at all, he'll come back and take that 66 and try and do it again. Jose Grego, we watched this cowboy put 70 points on the board the first time. Here's a good bull, Jerry.
LB4 bull, black green.
Eddie Lang brings this one, and we're going to see if this cowboy can stay on for a qualified ride. 70 points on the first one. Jerry, looks like the cowboy's got him tapped off. Make it all the way to the finish line on this one right there.
We're going to put some money chops on him at the end.
Cowboy putting 83.5. The judge is throwing the numbers up already, 83.5 for that score on that Cowboys ride. That's going to be a big one right there, one that we're going to have to try and outdo because we take that and combine it with a 70 score ride already. It's going to be a big number, Jerry.
153.5 is his total.
Jose Grego, good job, doing a nice job there covering a good bucking bull. brought to us by Eddie Lang. So he's going to be the cowboy to beat as we move forward at this point. Fred Kinney going to be one of those that wants to get on top of that leaderboard, and he's already got himself a score, so we're going to see if we can get him out here on the arena floor and try and pass him off, see if we can make him one of those that's got 2 for 2.
Guns blazing, LB4 bull.
Let's see what happens here as he tries to go to the guns.
Red scored 71 on his first bull. Let's see if we can add to that total.
This is one of them Dominator bucking balls, and the Cowboy going to see if he can make a qualified ride. Watch here as he gets a start to this one. Another one of the Cowboys with already some numbers on the board. He's going to add to it. Jerry right here. Rock Springs, Wyoming, Lane Frost Challenge Tour, and he is on the mark right there. He's going to have himself a score. He's happy. He's a happy Cowboy. He's going to get some numbers. We're going to put 2 of them together once again for that Cowboy, Fred Kinney.
All right, come on, crowd, get into it. I think that's going to add to his score.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a good thing for him as they put a total together.
Fred was in control the whole ride. The bull had a lot of action until about 6 seconds, and then he just kind of bucked along the fence there. That's going to dock him a few points, but he's still going to score 78 points.
Get him up, get him up. Going to give him a total of 149 on 2. Hello. Just come on over here. I'll show you who's your daddy.
These last couple of bulls had a lot of Brahma blood in them.
Yep.
That adds to their attitude.
There you go. We're going to move right along. Jake Boko. Another one of the Cowboys already got some numbers up. 70.5 on his first effort.
Red Line's the name of this guy.
Eddie Lang bucking bull. See if he can make this one work. Cowboy's going to bring it right here. Goes, makes the corner. Hustle, 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 Cowboy. You get him, make it all the way to the end of the ride. You bet he is right there. Cowboy going to put some numbers up on the board again. Our judges, they're going to have to reward him big time for that one, Jerry. Looked really good.
Jake really did a great job staying with that bull. Going away from his hand, that's a little more difficult than bulls bucking into your hand. So that's a good ride, good effort on Jake's part.
Jake's going to get some numbers put up there, and we're going to give him a total 84.5 on that ride, Jerry. 84.5.
Add that to 70.5, it's 155 points. We've got a new leader.
Well, all right, that's just what we wanted to see happen as our Cowboys continue to play the odds here. Hope that they can get out on top. We're going to take it to Christian Ruddick. Here's another good Cowboy.
Apollo's the name of this bull.
All right, a good start to the ride. Oh, and an early exit once again. The Cowboy falls off and makes his way into the dirt way too soon. 72 points on his first ride. We add to that nothing this time, Jerry. He won't go into the aggregate.
Got behind the bull and went off the side. Good bucking bull.
So he's a little worse for the wear. Looks like his hands are hurting him a little bit there. That not an unusual injury here in the bull riding, I don't think.
He's going to leave tonight with his 72 score on one bull.
So Christian Ruddick, he'll have to take a little time and try and recoup what he's got put down on the arena floor there.
Looks like he's hurting a little bit too.
Back to Buskin Wilson. We already watched this Cowboy ride, 175.5.
He's getting on his own bull. Is that fair? You ought to know this bull.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is or not, but he was a stock contractor as well as a bull rider, and Buskin Wilson's got one tapped off. Look at him go to work on his own bucking bull.
Outside foot.
Right there, he's tapped off, and he says, I taught him to do that. He just stops and let me get off at home.
That's what we call a union bull, stops when the whistle blows.
Well, Buskin to see what they give up to him, but, you know, he was kind of a flat bull, doesn't really get hard into it. Pretty easy ride for Buskin Wilson today, especially for the short round.
Now, he had a 75.5 coming in. We're going to give him a score and probably an option, I would imagine, where that bull stopped.
Well, we'll see what they give up to him. How many points there, Jerry?
68 with an option.
68 with an option for a re-ride. See what he decides to do, whether he takes it, keeps it. He has that opportunity to make the decision. Again, each one of the Cowboys has paid an entry fee, so Buskin declines an opportunity to go again. He's going to keep it 68, 143.5. He'll be there on 2. Sheldon Adams, the Cowboy, sliding in on the bull rope. Another one of those good bucking bulls. We like this one.
XL.
He's a dominator, usually puts on a great show. So as the Cowboy tries to make a qualified ride, it's not going to be enough today for Sheldon Adams. He falls prey once again to XL. EMJ bucking bull, and I'll tell you what, this one's a dandy.
Sheldon Munson brought some good bulls to this rodeo. This is one of his top bulls. Gets tipped out of there, slaps the bull, comes off, no score.
So as the Cowboy gets down to the ground, makes that long walk back, 77.5. He doesn't get to add to it this afternoon. So depending on how many places they pay and how many Cowboys continue to ride, we have a few more to go here. Might get a paycheck, might not. Steve Smith is the Cowboy who's loaded up. He's going to have to bring it today, Jerry, if he's going to make it. 78 on his first ride.
He's on the Spotted Demon, a Ruby bull.
Good bucking bull right here. Goes one way, goes another way, trying to get the Cowboy off. Throwing a little trash at him, not letting him get settled in there and do what he needs to do.
Good recovery.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that was a tough bull to ride.
Had some belly rolls going on there. The kid rode very well. He got in trouble and got himself back in good shape and finished the ride.
Yeah, that bull just kind of jumps back underneath him. Again, the bull travels a long ways, doesn't really sit in there and settle him down, but kind of kicking up underneath him and making the opportunity for the Cowboy to set himself and get up in the middle of that one.
That was a great recovery. He had a 78 coming in, add to that 73, 151 points is going to be his total.
Way to go, Steve Smith. See if that'll be enough for a payday.
Maybe
Cowboys rode a couple.
Maybe you can afford a haircut after this.
You think? He probably likes it. It's probably one of those treasures that he has, that he doesn't dare cut his hair, else he can't ride a good bull.
Be like Atlas, can't cut the hair, you lose the strength.
All right, here we go. Dusty Clegg, another one of the Cowboys, has already put 79.5 on the board. He was a high mark ride from the first go in. He's got to start to this one right here, but let's see what happens. Cowboy making a ride, reaching down there.
Do it.
He pulls the ripcord on that one.
He just rode the bull hangover smoke with Mike Ruby's. See if they're going to reward him.
Well, the Cowboy takes off the helmet, puts on the hat. Bull didn't buck real hard, so I don't know he's going to get a whole bunch of points. Right there, just kind of hopping.
Gave it up at the end, didn't he?
Yeah. Not going to give him a whole bunch of points, but the Cowboy hits the ground. Well, Jerry, looks like the judges have a decision on that one.
Well, they did give him a score of 69 with an option for a reride.
So we're going to give him an opportunity to do it once again. Jason Dolce right here. He had a reride option. Comes back and see if he can ride one. Let's do it again right here. Jason Dolce. Whoa, looky here. Look at this bull get some elevation. Jerry,
good
you like
bull,
what
good
you're seeing?
ride.
Cowboy going to work on this one. Oh, no, that is not what we wanted to see happen right there to Jason Dolce. He throws his hat in the air, and again, he's going to look for the judges. I don't think it's going to be quite enough here, Jerry. Boy, I'll tell you what, he put together a ride, though, didn't he?
Boy, he looked good. He was putting on a clinic there.
He's sitting up
that
straight.
Outside foot.
Yep, resetting. But then those feet come off.
Yep. That inside foot.
Well, he was loosening himself up, and I'll tell you what, the Cowboy, he's going to buck off and taking those scores. So it's bad news for Jason Dolce, who had a previous ride. So Dusty Clegg had an option for a re-ride. We just got to watch him ride one. It didn't buck very hard. We throw him back on another. Let's see right here. Goat on a rope, Dusty Clegg. Got him turned back right in the bucket chute right there. Turns back at the latch, and it's going to be a little too much for Dusty Clegg this time. Going to come down with a 79.5 from the first go-around. He was the high-marked ride. He's going to buck off, Jerry.
Yes, he is.
He just opens the doorway for a whole bunch of Cowboys to claim a whole bunch of prize money. That is not good for Dusty Clegg, especially when he's had 3 opportunities today.
He took the gamble and lost today, but he wanted to go for first place, and I don't blame him.
Well, he knew what he had on his plate. He knew that he wanted to get some of that prize money. So lots of prize money available, and this Cowboy, he takes the gamble. Not going to work out for him today. Jake Boko going to be the Cowboy who comes out on top as Jake puts together a total of 155 points on 2 head. Jose Grego right behind him with 153.5, and that's going to be your winners here at the Lane Frost Challenge in Rock Springs, Wyoming. The tour continues as we take you to events all around the western part of the United States, so stay with us. We'll recap everything that's gone on here at the Lane Frost Challenge Tour in Rock Springs.
PBR to MBR, Humps and Horns Bull Riding Magazine covers it all, with in-depth stories on up-and-coming riders to highlighting events from around the world. If it happens in the world of bull riding, Humps and Horns covers it. Order today and stay current with all the latest bull riding news and information. Call 866-464-6397 or www.humpsandhorns.com for more information.
Thanks for joining us here in Rock Springs, Wyoming, at the Sweetwater Events Complex. It's been a cold night in Rock Springs, sub-zero temperatures. And again, the high winds was a-blowing, but I'll tell you what, we heated it up in the house. EMJ Productions, Sheldon Munson, he brought together a good event right here in Rock Springs tonight.
That's right. We always have fun in Rock Springs on New Year's Eve.
We had great livestock contractors. EMJ brought their very best. Eddie Lang, L-Bar 4 out of Montrose, Colorado. He brought good livestock as well. Brought some from the Jackson Hole Rodeo Company, as well as Mike Ruby. Well, they all brought their A-team, and they delivered in the short round for the Cowboys.
That's right. Only 3 Cowboys able to make it on 2 bulls. Our first place and our winner is Jake Boko. Scored 70.5 in the first round, 84.5 in the second, for a total of 155.
They got juicy, didn't they?
Absolutely.
What about that Jose Grego?
70 points in the first round, 83.5 in the second, for a total of 153.5.
And then Steve Smith, he finished it up.
Absolutely. He scored 78 in the long go, 73 in the short go, for a total of 151 to garner 3rd place.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it was a great night of bull riding. We want to say thank you to all the people behind the scenes who make this a great event. And again, we pay tribute to our former world champion, Mr. Lane Frost, who lost his life in a bull riding accident. But again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being with us. Join us at one of our tour stops as we make our way through the country in the Lane Frost Challenge. On behalf of all those behind the scenes, your rodeo sportscaster Mike Brems and Mr. Jerry Hurst, we're signing off tonight. May your upcoming days be filled with pleasant sunsets. Join us online at www.lanefrostchallenge.com.